What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for August 7th, 2025, Thursday. Ready to close out the trading week. I first want to congratulate Mr. Muhammad for the beautiful trade he took today on USD CAD. Congratulations, my brother. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. Last night I marked the red box as an area I expect price to drop to today and price retrace to that level. I saw a 5-minute engulfing, took the trade. Is it a good trade or I just got lucky? Kindly explain in the stream. Alright, so let's see. US 100, what chart is that? That's just US 1. Is that NAS 100 or is that completely different? I don't know, bro. I don't look at that chart. I'm gonna have to do a whole segment just for that. Trading in peak high territory, so you already know these are very low probability areas to take trades in. Right, on the 30-minute, you're trading Mr. Rand. Let me know if you're in here. Mr. Bashir, welcome, my brother. NAS 100, I got you. Right, so structure, you know, you're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price went down and gave you a lower low. Right, so we know we're trading between this high, this low. Internal structure, right, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high. Right, and then price gave you change of character, lower low, lower high, lower low. Price then gave you a change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, low, high. Man. Let's see. You saw on the 30-minute. Well, okay, hold on. Let's take a step back real quick. So first thing is first, right? What's STP? That's the number one thing. Right, number one thing is STP. So ADR is 318 minus 33% is 213. So this is the number one thing you have to look at. Price already gave you 362 pips out of the expected 213. When you're looking at the ADR 318, it gave you more than the expected ADR. So just to reiterate the first question, right? Is it a good trader that I just got lucky? You got lucky. Why? Because as soon as price already gives you STP or ADR, especially already when you're taking a trade at, take a sip of water, my bad, give me a second. And if at any point my mic audio goes out, let me know. I don't know what's wrong with my PC, but everything just keeps disconnecting. Once price already gave you ADR, once price already gave you STP, and the fact that this trade played out at 3 p.m., you got lucky. Why? Because 9 out of 10 times when price already gives you ADR, what's price gonna do? You think price is gonna continue to trend, right? Or do you think price is going to consolidate? I'll let you answer that question in the chat, Mr. Bashir. Kendall says consolidate. Mr. Bashir, what do you think is going to happen? Consolidate. Forex Pro says consolidate too. Perfect. Right, consolidate. Exactly. So that's the number one thing. Right, the second thing is you took the trade, boom, you're in perfect. You're in the trade, you're in profit. Where are you going to take profit? Right, remember, STP's already hit, ADR's already hit. So where's your targeted profit at? Just, oh, I got in, I'm in profit, I'm getting out? Or do you have a target to look at? Right, for the most part, this is where a lot of traders start guessing. because they start guessing or they start going into imaginary numbers thinking they're going to catch a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 6 or even a 1 to 2, right? So that's the second reason as to why it's not a good trade, right? Above everything else, right? What was good here is that you just followed the trend in the internal time frame, which isn't bad, right? It's not bad at all, right? You saw price, gave you higher high, higher low, boom, right up here, gave you an exhaustion candles, right? Inducement candles. This is also another reason why I wouldn't be taking this trade, right? So now you said you had a 5-minute engulfing candle. Let's see where that engulfing candle was at, right? Or at least in the chat, let me know what time frame did you see that engulfing candle in, because I don't have one on the 30-minute. There's nothing on the 1 hour. There's nothing on the 15-minute. There's nothing on the 5-minute time frame either, so I don't know which engulfing candle did you look at and what time frame. In the 5-minute, yeah, I mean there's no engulfing candles here on the 5-minute. So I don't know. Right? None of these candles were valid engulfing candles. Right? Remember, I put this in the chat for you guys the last time. The drawings of what an engulfing candle looks like. If you need that file, let me know and I'll send it to you. Right? What is a valid bullish engulfing candle? You have the red candle that has a top and a bottom wick. You have the second red candle that has a top and a bottom wick, and that second red candle needs to close below the first red candle's wick. And then you have the engulfing candle, the green one, that has a top and a bottom wick. Then you're looking for the retest to get in here to continue that push to the top side. Right? I see that you have your entry somewhere here, right? Thinking that this is an engulfing candle, but this is incorrect. Why is it an incorrect engulfing candle? First and foremost, red candle does not have a top wick. Second red candle did not close below the first red candle's wick, and this is also a doji candle. Right? And then you had a nice little engulfing candle, a green candle, but that's it. The first red candle doesn't have a top wick. That second red candle is a doji candle, is not a strong confirmation. And then you had this candle. So overall, yes, in my opinion, you got very lucky with this trade today. You got very lucky with this trade today. Again, this is what the engulfing candle pattern should look like. Top and bottom wicks on every single candle. That second red candle needs to close below the first. And then you have the engulfing candle. Vice versa when you're looking for a bearish candle. You have the green. You have green. Right, top and bottom wicks on both candles. You have to make sure that the second green candle closes above the first green candle's wick. And then you have the red candle that has a top and a bottom wick. This is where you'll look for price to come back up, give you the retest to go right back down to the bottom. It must be 3 candles, yes. The engulfing pattern, the engulfing candles are always going to be 3 candles. It's going to be 2 red candles and then that green candle going to the top side, or 2 green candles and then you have that red candle going back down to the bottom. So give you guys the example, the trade that we took yesterday on EA and on Tesla, right? You have this engulfing candle was on the 4-hour. I could delete these drawings already. I don't need this all on my screen. Right? You have the red candle, top and a bottom wick. The second red candle, top and a bottom wick, close below the first. And then you have the engulfing candle. As soon as you get that engulfing candle, you're looking for the retest of that area to go back up. Right? That was the trade from yesterday. Very similar to the Tesla trade. Right? The Tesla trade, you had a 30-minute bullish engulfing candle. red, red, green. 1, 2, 3. Top and a bottom wick. Second candle, close below the first. Top and bottom wick. Green candle, gave you the engulfing. Price came down, gave you the retest, and as soon as you got the retest, straight up. So a red candle and a bullish candle sweeping it from the bottom to top is invalid? I'm not sure I understand that question. If the candle doesn't look like this, to answer the question more effectively, if it does not look like this, it is not valid. Every single time. It has to look like this. If it's anything that doesn't look like this, then it's not valid. I understand? Alright, perfect. Let me know if you guys have any other questions on that. Again, also, please guys, let me know if my mic cuts out. I'm going to try my best to... Actually, I have an idea. I'm going to have this up on my monitor as well, so I see the chat and I see OBS just in case. Oh, what's good, Elijah? Welcome, my brother. Does it make it invalid when the second red candle's wick closes above the first red candle's wick? Does it make it invalid when the second red candle's wick closes above the first red candle's wick? I'm not sure I understand the question. Yeah, Elijah, the EU pairs and GBP pairs that we'll go over is the ones that you see with the red flag next to their name. So we'll be going over EA, ECAD, EU, GA, GCAD, GJ, and GU. But if there's a specific one that you want me to go over, let me know. Second wick above the first red candle. Still not understanding the question. If the wick closes above the first red candle's wick, I don't know why we're making this so difficult. If it doesn't look like this, it's not valid. If it does anything less or anything more than this, it's not valid. If the body of the second if the body of the second red candle doesn't close below that first wick, then it's not valid. I already drew it. I had that on my screen literally 2 seconds ago. Like I'm not understanding. Maybe if I do this again. That's not what I wanted to open. Wasn't there a fucking A. I don't know what's confusing about it. No, neither do I. Trust me. I don't know why this is not opening. Dude, my computer is so messed up right now. I really gotta upgrade my shit. Alright, man. Nothing. It doesn't want to open. I don't know why. Literally, yeah, like I said, guys, I really don't. I'm not understanding what's the confusion on that. Let me know again. It would be invalid if the second red candle didn't close beneath the first red candle. Yeah, like it's literally just as we explained it. Right? I'll draw it out again. The only engulfing candle, the only engulfing pattern that's valid is if it looks like this. Right? And then you have the green candle. If the green candle does not close above the body of the first red candle's body, then is not valid. Meaning, if the green candle does this, right, and it doesn't close above the body of the first red candle, then it's invalid, right? If the red candle doesn't close below that first red candle's wick, then it's not valid. Let me know if that makes sense. Or let me know if you need me to draw it out again. You need to always have that second red candle needs to close below the wick, and the body of the green candle needs to close above the body of the first red candle. If it doesn't look like this, then it's invalid. There's nothing more, nothing less to it. You drawing doodle bob? Fuck you. Problem is I don't know where the location of the file is. It doesn't tell me. Let's see if I could just search it on my file. Oh, no, it's gonna take a long time. And once again, guys, the pairs that we're gonna be going over in tonight's session is going to be AU, ACAD, EA, ECAD, EU, GA, GCAD, GJ, GU, NZD, USD, US30, USD CAD, USD ZAR, gold, Bitcoin, and oil. If there's any other pairs in specific that you guys want me to go over that's not on my list, just let me know. Let's see if this shit fucking wants to open. Alright, while I wait for that file to open, almost there, guys. Let's see. Dude, this computer is so slow. My God. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Or any other pairs that you guys want me to go over real quick, let me know. EU? Gotcha. We'll go over that one in order since it's on our list. Using Windows 95? No, man. I just hate how PCs get so obsolete after just a few years. Wow, man. Alright, bro. We'll get started at the end of the stream. If this shit decides to open, then we'll go over it. And then I'll put the file in the Discord as well, so you guys could have it there, so you guys could see it. Albert sent me a DM too. Yeah, Albert, correct. My bad, Albert. Took a few minutes to see that. Um. Oh, I searched it and it's not coming up. Alright, you guys are chalked, man. When I have access to that file on my computer, I'll send it in the Discord. No worries. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. Like even this, like if you see, oh, it's not doing it now. Perfect. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but let's see if it does it without me touching the mouse. Oh no, it's not doing it anymore. My charts were all messing up. Like my my cursor would be just moving by itself, or the line of the cursor would just be moving by itself, just spazzing out. So since you guys know it's Thursday, usually Friday I don't really trade Friday, so this is gonna be a quick session. Pretty much the same thing I did yesterday. We'll just do like a quick 25-30 minute session. Nothing too crazy. Um, for the pairs that we don't really have to talk about, we'll skip over them, which those pairs would be either pairs in peak high or peak low territory, or pairs that are moving counter trend. For example, like AUD-USD, we're moving counter trend. So right now for AU, this is a pair that I'm just taking a step back on, waiting for price to start turning around to then start looking for those trades going back down to the bottom. But again, if you guys have any questions about any pair, just let me know. I'm more than happy to go over any questions that you guys have or any confusions. So AU, right? We know that this is a pair that we're trading still on a downtrend. We are in level 3 on a downtrend, right? Price gave us a lower low and we're looking for that lower high to be set. As we've been talking about for the last couple weeks now, I am expecting price to go up a little bit higher, give us a steeper pullback to fill this 30-minute gap. Right? However, price already gave us a change of character on the 4-hour time frame. So at this point, what does this mean? Well, now, if price decides to give us lower low and gives us another set lower high up here and starts trending down and decides to give us a break of structure, this is where we'll start looking for price to continue that push down to the bottom. If not, if price continues to trend to the top side, the way that we see here, where price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, and then gave us higher high, higher low change of character, higher high break of structure, right, gave us the break of structure, this is where I'd be expecting price to continue that push to the top side. So we just got to be patient with this one. AU is one that not trading again, just keeping an eye on it, waiting for price to turn around. Once we start turning around, then we will continue to look for those trades back down to the bottom. Could we take a look at GCAD? Price had some pullbacks after STP before the higher high finally set. I got you. We'll go over GCAD as well. So you guys want me to go over EU and GCAD? I got you. AUD CAD, we are in A1, the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, and on a lower time frame, we're in a smaller zone of consolidation, right, which is on the 4-hour, where price is rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs again. Came back down to the bottom, and what did price do? Gave us another zone of consolidation on a smaller time frame. Right, we know that on the 30-minute, we had the change of character back down to the bottom, lower low, right? Never gave us a break of the lows, and we're still trading between these highs and these lows. So still for ACAD, we gotta be patient. In order for me to start looking for trades at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, I need to start seeing that break of structure. Without the break, price is gonna do exactly what we see here. Just consolidate or give us a pullback. And at this point, did price give us a valid break of the top of the zone of consolidation? Yes. Not only that, price gave us 2 days of rise. So right now for ACAD, just taking a step back. We're still trending to the top side. So we're going to keep it easy with this one. Right, go on to the next one. Not much to talk about on AUD CAD. I just want to make sure that I see somebody say EA as well, or am I tripping? No, you said EU. Elijah, EU, okay. Alright, perfect. For EA, we are in level 3 on an uptrend. This is the last and final push. We're expecting price to reach our previous peak high, which is anywhere between the bottom of the zone to the top. And why do I have this entire zone marked? Is because peak high was made with a very big wick, right? A huge wick. So going back to where we're at now, we know that we're in an area where price has rejected highs before. Going down to a lower time frame, what do we know about this chart? We were in a 4-hour zone consolidation where price again rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, tapped into the highs again, rejected lows again, and then on the lower time frame, on the push to the top side after the rejection of the low, what did price give us? On the 30-minute time frame, it gave us another zone of consolidation, right, which goes into the trade that we took yesterday. Again, price is rejecting highs, rejecting lows, going to the top, rejecting lows, going to the top again, rejecting lows. And once we had the rejection of the lows once again, what did we get on the lower time frame? We had the change of character, we had the break of structure, we had a 4-hour engulfing candle to go back to the top of the zone of consolidation, where price again gave us an inducement of the high, did not give us a clean break, and price came right back down to the bottom again. So this is the area where price is just ping-ponging, right? From the top to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom, to the top, to the bottom the entire time. Right now we have a day of drop. And right now, gonna take it easy on EA. Once we get the break of these highs, then we'll continue to look for trades back to the top side. But for right now, just taking it easy, waiting for price to give us a little bit more information, right? Give us those breaks so we can finally get out of the zone of consolidation. Brushes. For ECAD, daily time frame, where are we? Peak high territory already. No, this is not a peak high, my bad, wrong pair. Oh no, yeah it is, I'm tripping. ECAD is in peak high, right? So ECAD in peak high, I'm not going to be trading it. We'll just update it real quick, see if there's anything to talk about. If not, we'll skip through it and go on to the next pair. We had the change of character, we have the break of structure, we had a little bounce down, gave us a new high, nothing too crazy. Price ended up giving us 2 days of rise, but we are in peak high and we're trading still between this high and these lows. You can see that the 30-minute engulfing here was not validated. And again, the reason that is, we're in peak high territory. Market makers are just trapping traders, hunting for stop losses this entire time from 7:30 in the morning all the way till 2:30 in the afternoon. Price was just trapping traders the entire time. Inducement candle to the lows, inducement candle to the highs, inducement candle to the lows, going back, just consolidated. It was just hitting everybody's stop losses going both ways. And then at the end of the day, it gave a little bit of strength back to the top side. So again, ECAD is one I'm taking a step back in. I'm not going to be trading it. EU, very similar situation. Right, for EU, we know that we're in level 2 on an uptrend. Price gave us push 1 to the top side, first zone of consolidation. It gave us the break of structure, higher high, higher low. It gave us another push to the top side, right? Higher high, gave us a little bit of a pullback. For EU, as I've been saying for the last couple weeks as well, this is a pair that I am expecting price to give us a steeper pullback. I'm expecting price to at least fill this 30-minute gap here. We're in level 2. In level 2, we're looking for price to bounce off the 200 EMA, which is the white EMA. So I am still expecting EU to give us a steeper pullback. Nothing really to talk about on the 4-hour. We're still uptrending, right? Higher high, higher low, back up to the higher high. Again, we can see that price gave us a little higher low, came back to the top. But once again, I am expecting a steeper pullback. And then on the 30, gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. Change of character, higher high, gave us a little zone of consolidation, and then gave us the break of structure back to the top side. We had 2 days of rise on EU. Today being the 3rd day, it gave us a 3rd day push. And it finished. Did it finish as a no net or did it close right above it? It closed above it. So it gave us 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, what are we expecting? Price either consolidate or go down. So I already know that for tomorrow, EU is one trade that I will be hands off, not going to be trading it. We'll continue to look at EU going into next week. GA. We are in peak high territory, so very similar to EA or ECAD, whatever the other pair was that's in peak high territory. Not going to be trading GA. Let's just update it real quick and we can see again, price is just consolidating here. Gave us a lower low change of character and we're trading between this 30-minute low still and these 30-minute highs at the top. For the last 3 days, price has just been moving sideways, right? Gave us 3 days of no net and then today finally gave us a push to the top side. For GCAD, daily time frame, we are in level 3 on an uptrend, looking for price to continue to at least the previous peak high all the way up here. And if we zoom out once again, the previous structure, looking for price to at least reach these highs. On the 4 hour, we're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. We were looking for a set higher low to be set. Once the higher low was set, we got the change of character to the top side. We got the break of structure, which again, the valid break happened here, right? And we got a little small pullback, right? That small pullback, price gave us a little zone of consolidation. And then at 7, I'm assuming there was news today at 7. I wasn't really on the charts like that, so I'm not 100% sure. But I'm assuming there was news at 7, right, with this crazy candle. And price gave us that 372 that we were looking for. Price had some pullbacks after STP before the higher high finally set. What's your question on that, Albert? Do you have a specific question for this pair? Right, the only thing with this pair, I'm not going to say that this is higher high, higher low, higher high. All of this is part of the same structure to the top side. So we're still trading between this 30-minute low down here and these 30-minute highs over here. And the reason I'm not saying that those are higher lows, this isn't a significant pullback for this pair. But very similar to the other pair. 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market's either going to move sideways or go down. So GCAD, I'm no longer looking at this. For the end of the week, we'll come back to GCAD Sunday going into Monday. I'll give you a minute, Albert. I know sometimes the delay on the stream is a few seconds, so even though I have it off, so I don't know why there's a delay, but let me know if you had a specific question on GCAD. Right, but just to reiterate what I said earlier, if STP is already hit, if ADR is already hit, there's nothing left on the table. Specifically for GCAD, we were looking for a 372, the third day push to the top side. So again, as soon as that third day is hit, once that new high is made, I'm no longer looking to take any more trades. Because again, we see it from time to time again. Every single time. Right? 9 out of 10 times, as soon as price gives you that 372, as soon as price gives you that third day high, we'll see price come right back down or start consolidating. Now again, why would price continue? On what certain days would price just continue the trend? Would be on days like today that we have news, right? Where we know news is going to move the market. So that would be the difference between a day like today compared to any other regular day on the charts. And I don't remember what pair it was that gave us that 372, and then it was a recent pair. Right, very similar to STP and ADR. As soon as the STP is hit, price could go the opposite way. And that's exactly what happened with EA yesterday. No, it wasn't. Not yesterday, the day before, right? If you took this trade on EA, price gave you 100% of STP, and as soon as STP was hit, literally, I think STP was 76 for this day, 76 pips. As soon as we did 76 pips, what did price do? Continued back down, all the way down. So if you didn't cash out, if you didn't move your stops to break even, or if you moved your stops to break even, if you didn't move them, you went straight to stop loss, or price went to break even. Or you gave up 76 pips for price to go back down. Sorry about that. I feel price has some pullbacks at the top side. I am thinking about how to update markup the chart. Got you. No, nothing. Right? This is all part of the same trend. None of these are significant pullbacks. Right? This is all internal structure. So if you were looking at the 5-minute structure, right, or the 1 minute, in this case would be 5-minute or the 1 minute, right? This is where you would start seeing, you know, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. But we're not doing that on the 5-minute. We're doing that on the 30-minute. So the fact that, again, this is all internal structure. On the 30-minute, this is just all part of the same trend. You have lower low, lower, sorry, you have lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, back up to the higher high. All of this is part of the same structure. All part of the same trend. And again, the reason being is because this is not a significant pullback on the 30-minute time frame, and these are not significant pullbacks. This is just the market fluctuating, making higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame, on the internal structure. So again, we're still trading between this low and these highs up here now. For now, we still don't really have a set high because price hasn't given us a pullback, right? Could price just continue to consolidate here and then go up again? Yeah. So that would mean that this isn't a 30-minute high. We would just have to wait for that pullback to be given for us to consider this a set high. Thank you. No problem, my brother. For GJ, we're still on an uptrend. We are in peak high territory still, right? We're still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. On the pushback to the top side, what happened? Price ended up giving us a zone of consolidation, where again, price has been rejecting highs and rejecting lows. Price came back to the highs here, rejected the highs, and then started that push back down to the bottom. On the lower time frames, specifically the 4-hour and the 30, we were in another zone of consolidation at these highs. We had the break, we have a retest, we had the continuation back down to the bottom, and now we see price pushing back to the top side. Right? On the 30, we had lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we had the change of character, higher high to the top side here. Right? So then price gave us higher high, higher low. Right? And now we're trading between this 30-minute high up here and these 30-minute lows. We also had 3 days of rise already. After 3 days of rise, I'm expecting the price to move sideways or go down. So even though we have a change of character, even though we have a break of structure, I'm still not looking for an entry on GJ. The reason that is, once again, is because the 372 was already hit. After 3 days of rise, we know the market's going to move sideways or go down. So I'll be expecting a pullback to happen before I look for an entry on GJ. We also have an engulfing candle, but we can see that this green candle has a small wick. Perfect. So it does have a wick. So where could I be expecting this pullback to happen to? Somewhere in this 4-hour engulfing candle. Alright, so let's mark this real quick. 4-hour engulfing. This could be a good trade going into next week. Do we have a lower time frame engulfing? No. Nothing on the 1-hour. Nothing on the 30. this would be a trade I'd be getting ready to trade for next week. We could expect price for going into tomorrow's trading session, right? We could either expect two things to happen. Price to consolidate, right, until the market opens going into next week. Then we'll have something like this to continue that push to the top side. This is what I'd be expecting the market to do going into next week. So GJ, on to the next one. Shit, my chat just reset. Oh, we're good. I got it back. Okay. For GU, very similar to EU, right? We are in an uptrend in level 2. We had push number 1 to the top side, zone of consolidation. We had the break, higher high, higher low, the retest. Price went up and gave us another higher high to the top side. Gave us a higher low. Now the only difference between GU and EU, GU looks a little bit better when we're looking at the EMAs, right? We know that we're looking for the price to bounce off the 200 EMA. Price gave us a retest to the 200 EMA, right? We could see that right now on the daily time frame too. You can kind of see that price is giving us a shoulder head shoulder, right? And why is this good? Well, if price gives us a valid shoulder here, where again price just consolidates for a little bit, and price decides to give us another inducement of the low, then we know we could take another trade here to go back to the top side, right? Or if price decides to give us a break of the lows, then we know that we're going to get a steeper pullback, and this is where this daily engulfing candle that we have here will come into play. Where, once again, if we're expecting a pullback on EU, and right now we can't really say if we're expecting a steeper pullback on GU, but if it does give us that break on GU, then we know that EU is going to follow suit and it'll do the same thing. The pullback that we're waiting for on EU to close the gap that we have on the 30-minute and to bounce off the 200, we'd just be targeting the daily engulfing candle here on GBPUSD. Now, what if price doesn't give us another pullback? What if price decides to continue? Perfect, right? This is where structure is going to play along, and right now we see that. On the 30-minute time frame, we had a change of character, higher high, higher low, right? We didn't get a valid break until yesterday, where price gave us the push to the top side, and we're still pushing to the top side. We don't have any valid pullbacks just yet, and we don't have a set high just yet either. All of this is part of the same trend. All of it is part of the same trend. There's been no significant pullbacks. Price has just been trending for the last 3 days, right? And very similar to the other pairs. Today was that third day push to the top side. Perfect. After 3 days of rise, we're expecting the price to either move sideways or go down. So right now for GU, I have no trades for GU going into the end of the week. We'll take a look at GU again during the weekly market breakdown on Sunday to get ready for Monday. NZD USD, we are in A2, second zone of consolidation on a downtrend, right? We have push 1, first zone of consolidation, push 2, second zone of consolidation, and then we're looking for that third and final push down to the bottom to at least go into the previous peak low, which we could see price has not tapped into it yet, right? We're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation on the daily time frame, and if we go down to the lower time frames, right, the 4-hour, the 30-minute, we could see that we're also in a small zone of consolidation, where price has been rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. The fact that price already rejected the lows, and now on the lower time frame we start seeing price from lower low, lower high, lower low back up to the top side, where it gave us a change of character, higher high. And again, this is not higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. No, all of this is part of the same trend. This is going to tell us what price is going to do. So NU is going to be a very interesting pair to keep an eye on. If price decides to give us a valid break of these highs, then perfect. We know we're going to go right back to the top side. But if these candles that are printing now gives us the inducement of the high, if it doesn't give us a valid break, then this is where we'll look for price to go right back down to the bottom. So NZD USD is definitely one that we want to keep an eye on, especially now during Asia session, London session. If price gives you an inducement of these highs and it doesn't give you a valid break, then we know we could start looking for price to go back down to the bottom. So we'll keep an eye on NZD USD for the next couple minutes, for the next couple 30-minute candles to print, and then we'll go on from there. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. It's pretty much the end of the list. US 30, USD CAD, USD ZAR, gold, Bitcoin, and oil. I'm not really trading, so I'm just gonna keep this updated. So pretty much that's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna just go through these real quick just to keep them updated. But right now, I am not looking to take any of these trades. Right, US 30 gave us a nice little type 1 pattern today, but STP and ADR, or STP was already hit by the time we woke up. Right, and by the time 9:30 hit, STP was already hit, so there was really no valid trades. Gave us a nice engulfing candle too. They did us dirty, man. They gave us the nice engulfing candle entry type 1 pattern once STP was already hit, but this was a beautiful trade. Would have been a beautiful trade if STP wasn't hit. Right, a little 7 pip stop loss on US 30 never hurt nobody. That one would have been really nice, especially after this candle gave us an exhaustion candle. Right, prints it as an engulfing. The next candle gave you an entry, beautiful entry, straight to take profit. Well, straight to profit. But again, not really trading US 30. Right, Mr. Bashir, beautiful fucking trade today. Or Muhammad, sorry. Beautiful fucking trade today on USD CAD. Beautiful, beautiful trade. And we could go over this real quick. Right, so when I'm looking at USD CAD, right, we'll start from the top to the bottom, obviously, right? USD CAD already hit our previous peak high. It gave us the 3 pushes, right? Push 1, push 2, push 3, back to the top side. As soon as price gave us that push to the top side, what happened? Peak high, we started the downtrend, right? We have the first push to the bottom side. We know that on a downtrend, the first zone of consolidation is either going to be above or on the 800 EMA, and we're right on the 800 EMA, right? Price gave us the rejection of the lows. Once it gave you the rejections of the lows, this is where you went down to the lower time frame. And what are you looking for? You're looking for the change of character. You're looking for the break of structure, right? Now you have this marked on the 5-minute, which isn't bad, but structure really was on the 1-minute, right? Because on the 5-minute, you didn't really get a clean break of these lows. It was just the inducement. So that's the only difference that I would have had on my screen, Mohammed, is structure would have really been on the 1-minute, not on the 5-minute. But still the entry was valid. Right, yeah, my bad, Bashir. I'm just so used to saying your name. You're the first person I think about. Right, so on the 1-minute, you had lower low, lower high, lower low. You had the change of character, higher high. Right, it gave you a higher low. Then it gave you the break of structure. After the break of structure, what are you looking for? Right? With the structure that we have on the candlesticks and everything else, you know that we're looking for a 50% retracement between 50% and the 61.8. Right? And when we're looking at where to put our stop loss, because in this case we don't have any engulfing candles, this was purely just market structure. Right? You would have taken the trade on the 50% retracement. Beautiful. Right? Stop loss would have been below the previous structure of the internal time frame where the break happened, right? Where we had higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So stop loss would have been 4 pips, right? 3.8, 4 pips. Your take profit, STP today was at 43 pips. Your take profit would have been 30 pips. Beautiful 1 to 8 trade, right? Price still, again, you know that when you take a 50% retracement, you know that your stop loss has to be below the 61.8. You don't want to put your stop loss at 61.8 because you know that your stop loss is going to be hit. You know the market makers are hunting for stop losses. So if you have an engulfing candle, if you have structure, you always want to put your stop loss below the previous structure. In this case, the previous higher low that made the higher high, that gave you the break of structure, right? Price came back down. All good. It's still following structure. Gave you an inducement candle. If you really wanted to be greedy, you could have got into another trade. Right? You definitely could have gotten into a higher lot size as well as soon as you saw this exhaustion candle here. Right? And then price went straight to profit. So this was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade today, Mohammed. Very nice trade. Congratulations, my brother. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete these so we don't have everything on our screen here. Right? And then we ended up finishing the day on a no net, where again price opened and closed in the same exact spot. Right? So we did finish the day on a little no net. USD ZAR is another one that I'm not currently trading. Right? We know that overall we're still on an uptrend. We're still in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push back to the top side. So what we got to look for here is, again, change of character and break of structure back to the top side. And right now on the 30-minute, we had higher high, higher low, higher high, gave us a lower low change of character. And we are still trading between these 30-minute lows. Right, and it's still just inducing the lows here. So we'll have to update this in the morning as well. Good shit, Muhammad. Yes, sir. Bro, how did you do the double extension of the long position? The double extension of the long position? Fuck, man. You what? What are you talking about? Good day. Hello, Mr. Sir. How are you? What do you mean the double extension of the long position? What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand the question, Mr. Albert. What you did on Muhammad's trade? I didn't do nothing. All we did was, let me retrace my steps. Did I do something out of the ordinary? I'm confused. Let's retrace our steps. I grabbed the long position, right? This was a 50% retracement. You put your stop loss. This is all I did. I'm retracing my steps. Right, STP was at what, 30 pips? Somewhere here. That's all I did. It felt like it was twice. Nah. It was just once. So all I did was place it, move the stop loss, move the TP, and that's it. And then you make it wider, you know, shorter, wider, whatever. Skinnier, wider. But you could also do this. Like, you could copy and paste it, yeah. You could just, you click on it and then you press control on your, once you click on it, press control. Hold control on your keyboard and then you click it and then you could just duplicate it. Or you could just click it and then clone it. Let me know if that answers your question. Okay, I get it now. I think it's a color effect. Gotcha. For gold, we're in peak high territory, and in peak high territory, price is just moving sideways, where price is rejecting highs and rejecting lows. Looks like price wants to go back to the highs. And again, I'm not going to be trading gold again. Once we reach our top of the zone of consolidation and we get a rejection of the highs, then I'll start looking to take trades again. If it rejects the highs, then we'll be looking for shorts. Right? If it breaks above our zone, then we know price is just going to continue that trend back to the top side. So just going to be patient with gold. Again, these last couple pairs here on the list, not really trading it. Even when we're looking at structure, we're not even trading between 30-minute structures. All these moves that you guys have been seeing for the last couple of weeks, right now for the last couple months, I guess, since this was in June and we're in August, we're trading between this 30-minute high up here and these 30-minute lows down here. Everything that you see between this high and this low, all of this here is just internal 5-minute structure. So I'm not going to be trading gold until we either break or induce these highs. So gold for me is going to be a pair, just going to take it easy. Again, we'll keep it updated, but I'm not going to be trading it. Bitcoin is another one that I'm not really going to be trading. Reason for that, what are we doing in peak high territory? We're at the highest point in the market. And what is price doing? Moving sideways. Right? On the sideways movement, we broke the lows, gave us a lower low, and then price is pushing up. So this is a question, right? Are we going to get price? Is price going to follow the internal structure zone of consolidation to give us a break retest to continue, right? That breakout trade? Or is price going to follow the higher time frame, which in this case the 4-hour, higher high, higher low, higher high? Is this a higher low to continue into a higher high? And again, the reason I don't have an answer for that is because on the 30-minute, what is price doing? We're downtrending. Lower low, lower high, lower low. So I can't feel comfortable taking a position when every single time frame is telling me something different. Right? The 4-hour is uptrending, the 30-minute is downtrending, the daily time frame is just moving sideways, right? I can't take a trade like that. When every single time frame is saying the same thing, right? If the daily, the 4-hour, and the 30 were all downtrending, all right, we know we could start looking for these lower highs to go into a lower low, or vice versa. If the daily, the 4-hour, and the 30 were uptrending, right, then we know that we could have taken these trades back to the top side. But that's not the case, right? So at this moment, this is the reason why I'm not looking to take trades on Bitcoin just yet. I need to wait to see all the time frames telling me the same thing, right? If I'm going from one time frame to the other and every single time frame is telling me something completely different, I let it go, right? Because we know that's the market makers just inducing traders to get into trades, right? They're inducing the higher time frame traders thinking that they're going to short, and then they're inducing the low time frame traders thinking that price is going to go long, or vice versa. And then the last pair for the night, US oil, still making lower lows and lower highs, right? Still pushing down, which is good. Overall, we know that we are in level 2 on a downtrend. We had level 1, first zone consolidation. We had the break, lower low, lower high, and we're looking for that lower low to be set, right? And this is another pair that on the 4-hour time frame, what is price doing? We're moving sideways, right? We are in a zone of consolidation from the highs to the lows. So before I take a trade on US oil, I need to see a valid break of these lows. And the lows that I'm looking at are these lows over here. If price could give us a valid break of these lows, then perfect. We know we'll get a break, a little retest to continue that push to the bottom side. And at this point, we have another engulfing candle here, which is perfect. Why? Because if price gives us that break of the low, then we know that we're going to get a pullback to this engulfing candle. And this is where we'll start looking to take a trade to go back down to the bottom as soon as price gives us a retest and it gives us a pullback in this area. So we want to be patient with US oil as well. That's pretty much it for tonight, guys. Any questions? Anything you want me to go over? Anything you want me to talk about or explain again, let me know. If not, we'll be done for the night and we'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Give you guys, what time is it? We are at 8 p.m. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Any questions in the chat, let me know. Let me see if there's any other questions in the Discord. No other questions in the Discord? Alright, perfect. Seems like you guys are good in the chat. No questions. Any other pair you want me to go over? Anything you want me to break down? Anything at all, let me know. Mr. Bashir, good night, my brother. Hope you sleep well as well. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Pray everyone gets to master gold in US 30. Yeah, man. It's, again, it's all the same thing. Right? It's all the same thing. Trading gold, trading US 30 is the same thing as trading GU and GJ. Right? The same type of money that you can make trading any other regular forex pair, you can make it trading on gold in US 30. Right? Or vice versa. The money that you think you're going to be making on gold in US 30, you can make it on any other pair on the chart. So, you know, getting hyped up and being like, oh, I can't wait to trade those pairs. Like, yeah, those are good pairs to trade. Absolutely. They pay out so well. But if it's about money wise, again, you can make the same amount of money trading these smaller pairs. Just think about it. USD CAD, that's a 3 pip stop loss. What do you think your lot size is going to be? Right? A 3 pip stop loss on a dollar lot size, that's $30. Right? A 3 pip stop loss on a $10 lot size, that's $300. Just think about it. Right? So when you really start putting it in perspective, again, let's say a $15 lot size, that's a $450 stop loss. And let's put it in perspective, right? A 15 pip or a $15 lot size with what was STP on that? Was 30 pips flat? Or about 30 pips flat. Let's say 32 pips flat. Right? $15 lot. That's 4,800. Right? And people love catching that on gold because catching that on gold with a lower lot size and smaller moves, absolutely. Right? But we're not catching smaller moves. Right? We're catching STP. So again, the money that you're making on a regular forex pair, you can make it on a regular forex pair. You just have to know the rules. You have to know the rules. Because again, the same rules that you see on a regular pair is the same rules that you see trading options, is the same rules that you see trading indexes, commodities, energies, right? Whatever it is that you're trading, it's all the same thing. So the goal really shouldn't be to get to US 30 and gold. No, the goal should be learn the strategy and then use it on every market that you trade. The problem is, you might know the rules, but your patience is going to kill you. Because again, while everybody's having a field day on gold and losing so much money, if you go on social media, again, this week alone, how many people you saw trade gold and US 30 and lose? Right? It's all about patience. Right? The same patience that you see me on every other pair is the same patience you see me looking at on these trades, on these pairs. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. For me, it's like I'm trading the same pair. I'm trading the same pair. Every single day I trade, I'm trading the same pair. Why? Because I mark them up the same way. I'm looking for the same things every single day. There's nothing different. What, I'm scared because it's gold? No. You gotta think of the charts like you're talking to women. Like, why are you scared to talk to this girl? Cause she's prettier than the other girl? No, it's the same shit. Can't be nervous speaking to women. You'll never pick one up. So it's the same thing in trading. All of these charts are the same to me. There's no difference. Trading the same rules. I'm looking at the same charts. I'm looking at the same entry models. Everything's the same. Now, when you start getting nervous and start saying, "Whoa, but gold looks so much prettier. She got blue eyes." You're gonna start being nervous. So you gotta treat them the same way, man. Gotta treat them the same way. There's no difference. Gold, Bitcoin, oil, 30, GJ, it's all the same shit. All the same thing. It's just a different name. You're looking at the same thing, it's just a different name. That's it. When you speak to women, they're the same. All the girls are the same. The only difference is their name. And sometimes you might get lucky and find a girl with the same name. That's it. So you gotta look at this the same way. And if you're a woman, then yo, all the guys are the same. The only difference is their fucking name. That's it. So there's really no difference at all. So again, guys, one more minute. I'll give you guys another minute at the chart time. 8:07 will be done. So 45 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever, 50 seconds. We'll be out of here. I do have a one-on-one session. I don't know if he's ready yet. Told me 7:30, but he knows that I have the session at 7. So I sent him a message as soon as I finish that last pair. Let's see if he gets back to me. And then I'll be done for the night, man. Any questions at all, guys? Again, let me know. Anything at all. 30 seconds. Good night, brother. Good night, Albert. My bad. I just seen that message. Alright. Seems like you guys are good in the chat. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll be back again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern. Peace out.